Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlicker, shills, desolators, peasants, vassals. I'm Useful Idiot, and regrettably, I have to talk about the police surveillance state yet again. So now we have the story about Trapwire, a company out of Northern Virginia called Abraxas. And, of course, it's stuffed to the gills with the elites from the Pentagon, the CIA, and other government agencies. And it's a private corporation, and they're involved in surveillance on Americans. And of course, as it turns out, this is quite a dragnet that's existed for quite some time, where Trapwire uses all the surveillance cameras, private surveillance cameras, that are available in a lot of major cities and famous sites, prominent sites around America. And Americans are being watched by this system. And according to their literature, Trapwire is a technology solution predicated upon behavior patterns in red zones to identify possible terrorist surveillance. And it helps to connect the dots over space and time. And so what it does essentially is it uses facial recognition technology, and it also uses software that analyzes behavior patterns and body language. So these are two technologies that I've talked about before that are reaching advanced stage, and it turns out they're even in more advanced stage than previously thought, and are already in use and in extensive use. And apparently New York City alone has 500 cameras that they have tapped into this system, and all private companies and governments are able to sign up for this Trapwire system through Abraxas. And they're very aggressive, and they're hoping to get everyone involved in their network. And their network actually expands into Canada and the UK as well. So they're an international organization, and they do work for the Pentagon, the military, law enforcement, and they all interface as well. And they have contracts with Department of Homeland Security and Department of Defense, and this stuff is tracking citizens in real time and sending back the information to be cross-referenced with facial recognition and body language. And this information, of course, only came out because of an anonymous WikiLeaks connection that revealed this. And once again, we're finding out that the surveillance and police state is much larger than we imagine, and has been going on for a lot longer. So ever since 2001, we have a vast surveillance society that's been set up at breakneck pace with no apparent limits to funding, and we're living in that environment now. So every few seconds, data is picked up by these surveillance cameras across the country, recorded digitally on the spot, then encrypted and instantaneously delivered to a fortified central database center at an undisclosed location, and then analyzed with other material. So that's how this system works. So interestingly enough, they have a fortified central database center, and we don't know where it is. And this also brings up another sinister part of this, at least as far as I'm concerned, and that's this continuing government, military, corporate partnership. So here we have another private company involved in the police state and surveillance that works directly with the Department of Defense, law enforcement, the Department of Homeland Security, but ostensibly a privately owned company run by people who used to work for the Department of Defense, law enforcement, and the Department of Homeland Security and the CIA. So very cozy relationship. And this reminds me a lot about of the other company that we heard about recently too, Neustar, that was formed in 1998 by a huge military contractor, Lockheed Martin. So here's a private corporation, Neustar, started by another private corporation, Lockheed Martin, that is a weapons manufacturer for the U.S. military, and they all have a very cozy relationship. So now we have Abraxas, we have Neustar. We're going to see more of this government, military, corporate partnership, and very sinister development, because of course that once again falls into the classic definition of what fascism is. And so Neustar works in a different way than Abraxas, because law enforcement can turn to them instantly and use their database And they have information on every single cell phone call made in this country. So that's where Neustar is used. And they are used to outsource surveillance work for the telecommunications companies too. So when the government and the military want to have surveillance done by private corporations and telecommunications companies, those companies sidestep liability by outsourcing it another step to another private corporation that is a military corporate hybrid. So this is the wave of the future. Just photographing certain buildings in this country will now get you tracked by the Trapwire system and companies like Neustar. And this is all part of a pattern of what our government refers to as full spectrum surveillance. And that is their ultimate goal, and they're a lot further along in this goal than a lot of people realize in full spectrum surveillance. And that means all cameras, all public sites, all technologies, everything is used to watch all American citizens. And when they say full spectrum surveillance, they're talking about laptops, your televisions, your video games, classroom cameras, cell phone cameras, internet searches, sales points, your automobiles and global positioning tracking systems, and all your social networks, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all your email. So everything is being fed into giant databases. Everything is being monitored. Everything that has to do with electronics is now part of the full spectrum surveillance police state and the government military corporate partnership. Welcome to the new America. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.